Alright, the chat goes on the other side of the screen for art streams.
Art streams. Art stream.
You're the art to my stream.
Gosh, I'm more like a fart stream.
I see, we're already starting things off strong. Oh, this sounds like someone's about to die.
What?
I started playing the Ace. Oh, I forgot to switch it to say online. I started playing the Ace Attorney music, and I was like, "Ah, this sounds like someone's about to die already."
Immediately?
Yeah.
Goodness. Goodness gracious me.
There we go. Glorious.
Glorious.
All right, now you can say your opinion on how it looks.
Oh my goodness, my face. Okay, so for context, I recently saw this post on Tumblr that explained that old, what is it called, CRT TVs would display with this kind of static fuzz where it's not like a pure crisp image. It's like kind of there's an old TV quality to it, and a lot of old games, the pixel art would actually be made with that in mind, and when it displayed, it kind of softens it up, and it's the difference in the way it looks is incredible. Like, I had no idea this was a thing. Basically the point of the post was like art and the medium that's presented on matters. Well, the medium that art is presented on matters, and when people are like, man, this game looked better when I was a kid, it probably actually did look better when they were a kid, because they saw it on an old TV versus like now we have these like high quality computer screens displaying at like optimal quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it works with even things that aren't displayed on a CRT, because like even when it's just like a 480p or something, or 320 something screen, it's just like you were looking at something that blurred out the whatever image you were looking at a lot more than these HD screens that tried to make things as crisp as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so like I suddenly was reminded of a certain game that I had avoided for a long time because I hated the way it looked, and that's Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I had seen a clip of it at one point. I don't remember on what, I don't remember how, but I saw a clip of it and I thought it looked disgusting. And now I'm wondering, like, did I just see a recording of an emulated version of the game? And does it look better on like an actual DS? And Lyra, who has literally all of her handhelds and old games just within hand reach, pulled out Spirit Tracks and took a picture. And I'm like, it's hard to say because I feel like it looks better than I remember. It was I don't even, like, when I asked Lyra for her opinion, I didn't even ask, do you think it looks good for a DS game? I said, do you think it looks good? Because I think when I saw it, how I remembered, it looked disgusting. No matter what it was on, I didn't want to look at it. Like, and this, like, it looks relatively smooth. Like, I don't see what I remember seeing here. It could have been that the crunch was when the characters moved, like from frame to frame, the pixels were like shifting around, and that's what I was seeing, and I don't see it in the stills. But even with the stills, it like legit looks smoother than what I remember.
Another thing it might be, I don't know if you were actually watching gameplay or cutscenes, but this art style it's the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks are basically top-down Zeldas. So the models aren't optimally made for looking directly at their face. So I know the thing. I know as somebody who played Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks when they were new, the one thing about the graphics that made me go, ooh, that's definitely worse than Wind Waker, was their faces.
Yeah, I can see that. But even then, it's like I don't really see that like crunch that I remember. Maybe I'm like remembering it way worse too.
Or maybe it was something from an emulator that tried to clean it up more than it should be cleaned up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was the case. Like legit. So yeah,
and it's funny because part of why emulators probably aim to clean stuff up like that is because GameCube games and 3DS games actually look spectacular if you clean them up a lot of times, as long as you're like stylized and not trying to go for hyperrealism. So some people make other emulators may assume that they'll do the same.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't necessarily true.
Yeah, like a lot, like I don't know. Obviously, it's not like a fair comparison to say like I like Wind Waker, therefore let me play Spirit Tracks so I can see the same graphic quality as Wind Waker. Like I wasn't. Nowadays, I certainly do not expect the DS to like perform like that. I don't, but like I can't say for sure I didn't have some underlying bias going in to seeing it the first time, like way back then, which could have like definitely impacted how bad it seemed to me.
Possibly. Zero.
Yeah.
You have made it sound like you have a very hard time remembering and telling the difference between the DS era and the 3DS era. When the 3DS came out, were you one of the people who looked at the 3DS and were like, what are they doing? They're just adding a little tab to the end of all these 3DS games, so I can't just play it on the DS I already have?
Okay,
If the answer is yes, don't worry. I saw that an absolute ton when the 3DS first came out. It would not be just you.
For you.
Yes.
How late after the Wii U came out did the 3DS come out?
-1 year.
-1 year. So the 3DS came out first?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so here's the thing with the 3DS. I didn't have much time to form a negative opinion on whether or not it was worth it or not because my family bought me one for my birthday. I was a little like peeved, like, oh, no. Like I'm always a little peeved when I don't like make my own like video gaming decisions, but I'm always Lyra, I was the brattiest brat. My dad bought me a Game Boy Advanced SP. And I pitched a fuss because I thought he got some bootleg, like, Game Boy machine. I didn't know that the SP was a thing. And I'm like, I wanted a Game Boy Advance. Like, what is this? This is, like, some third-party shenanigans. It looks like a little laptop. I can't, like, I was so upset. I feel so bad for him because he definitely got the best thing. Like, that thing was my favorite system after I stopped being a brat. but yeah, I just had the 3DS, and I had previous from the 3DS had the original DS from way back when it like first came out. So I think it was due for a new system at that point. Plus, I could play all my DS games on the 3DS, so it wasn't like I definitely felt like the 3DS kind of sucked in that a lot of the games I would turn off the 3D function because I didn't like it. It like it kind of hurt my eyes. So I turned it off and I'm like, these are just DS games at that point. before you like correct me, I know there's like improvements to the cartridge system, or like the amount of data that can be contained, the like the hardware, whatever. There's like a lot of advancements that I don't see.
There should be
But
advantages that you do see.
what?
The I'm just gonna send you an image. When did this come out? Same year that the 3DS came out, so it's a very good thing to show. So, you have images of Spirit Tracks, a late DS game in your DMs, right? So you know what the DS can do, right?
Yeah.
This is what an early 3DS Zelda game looks like.
That's like huge improvement.
Yeah, it's the 3DS was like any other system upgrade. It's a much more powerful system that just like has things. It's not even like we're like the GameCube to the Wii, or what we're going to be seeing with a lot of future system upgrades, because you can only once you hit realistic, you can't make it look more realistic.
Yeah.
It's still very much in the era of you can very, very easily see the improvement, and I can't even like single you out as like, how could you have done this here, because it was such a big thing back in the day. Like everyone was doing that. It's like you can so easily see it was especially a big thing with Pokemon fans.
Oh yeah, because Pokemon fans are playing these sprite games on the DS, so it looks fine regardless. There's only so far you can go with like sprites, where it's like the Spirit Tracks is a 3D model game, and then this Ocarina is like 3D model, and you can like tell the difference very clearly between the two. But when you compare like black and white, and then like the difference isn't immediately obvious.
You could put black and white to what?
If you put like black and white, which is like 2D sprites, and then like a 3D model game, it's like, oh well, the style just changed. Which, for someone who didn't play a ton of like games, I look back at the DS and the 3DS era, and I'm like, I like the first thing that I think of isn't that like the graphics got way better, because I didn't pay attention to that.
Beautiful. Also, Tails is here, like Gaspazir here. Is it gonna be the three of you or just you two today? And Pepper is in Disney World? Mm-hmm. It's at Disney World.
Disney World, Florida.
She's having too much fun to come join us.
She was having fun yesterday, but like hilariously enough, she was supposed to be on the plane to come home today, and her plane got pushed back like several hours, so they're just killing time at the hotel today.
Ooh.
Which, if you know Pepper, like sitting around doing nothing is very difficult for her. I personally love when like I'm forced to waste time, because I have such a hard time letting myself waste time. That's why I like airports. Because that... Go on.
No, you first.
Oh, it's like that kind of liminal space where you're not at your destination, but you've already left where you were. And so you're kind of in this in-between sort of world. And I'm just like, I'm just going to play games because I don't have to be anywhere, you know?
No, I hate airports. Just that it's a wait where I just like feel like I have to pay a lot more attention to when I need to stop waiting.
I guess I think for me, what helps with that is if I'm at the right terminal, everyone in that terminal is also waiting. So if people start shuffling, that means it's time to stop waiting.
Counterpoint. I have anxiety.
That is very fair.
And what I was gonna say, which I feel like was kind of thrown off by this part of it, was what was it?
Wasting time.
What was it? Oh yeah, it was that you have a even harder time letting yourself just waste time than I do.
It's very bad, Lyra. I feel you so hard when you say, like, man, I didn't do anything even when I did things. Because, like, oh my goodness. Like, that's just my life. And like certain things don't feel like wasting time, like spending time with people, which is why I almost always these days play games with my siblings. Because
Why you should play games with me more.
it's true. Because it's like if they want to play a game, I'll be like, oh well, that's a rare occasion where my siblings want to spend time with me, so I gotta make time for that. And then we're like playing a game, and that's fine. But then if it's just me, myself, and I playing a game, it's like, well, I should be working on things.
Lyra and Zero help each other, force each other to finish Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl Wind. I know the answers when I catch up to you, but shh.
Yeah, me, my issue with Brilliant Diamond, apologies to Sinnoh fans, is I'm just not that into the game.
No, it's fine.
That's
Go ahead.
that's like there's games where I really want to play them but won't allow myself to because either I haven't started yet and the concept of starting something new feels like such a commitment that I always like shy away, or two, I just don't want to play.
You need to be more like me with starting stuff new. Just start it and never finish.
Oh my goodness! It's gotten to the point. It's like this is. I love Benny wearing his glasses, his goggles. By the way, that's really good. But yeah, like starting TV shows is the same. Like I have so many shows that I just won't start because the idea of starting a show is like a commitment, and I'm like, oh well, I don't know. One is like, do I have the time? And then two, do I have the mental, like, emotional energy to get invested in these characters' lives? And then three, do I have the self-control to not binge the entire thing and, like, not live? Which I have done in the past.
Sometimes you just gotta binge the whole thing and not live.
Oh my goodness.
As somebody who's finished an entire generation of the Pokemon anime over one weekend I had off. Not weekend, 1 week I had off. It wasn't
Okay.
It wasn't that bad. However, it did get powerful enough that I finished an entire season in one day.
What? How many episodes is that?
It was one of the shorter ones, but it was still like 30 something.
Wow. I've had some interest in watching this one show about this kid who lives alone. and it's apparently like really short. Like it's if I had to guess, it's like one of those 12 episode shows that you can like watch in one sitting. And even then, I'm like, you know.
You can do it, Zero. I believe in you.
Thanks, Lyra.
When do we continue watching ponies?
You let me know, I guess. Let me know. Ponies is an alright show. I'm not like super like dying to like finish it, but since you really like it, I'm like, you can keep watching.
See, the problem is you're not super dying to finish it, but I'm super dying for you to finish it.
Oh no! I can't believe Lyra's gonna die. I guess we have to watch it or Lyra will perish.
Exactly. Now you're picking up what I'm throwing down.
Mm-hmm.
Back when we were still talking about the people saying the tab was just was the only thing keeping you from playing DS games, 3DS games on your DS, Tails first has called out when I asked you about it. If you did the same. The second said, did y'all see those videos of people trying to cut off the tab on the 3DS games and put them into the DS? Because there were fake articles that said they would work.
I feel like even I would have understood that wouldn't work. Just on like the way backwards compatibility works is like it reads one way and not the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if there was an article, then that would definitely make it more believable. The problem of like people publishing stuff without knowing what they're talking about. I think I was probably stupid if I thought that there weren't graphical improvements. I'm not going to say if I thought there were graphical improvements or not. I'm just saying like right now in my life, I think back to the DS and 3DS and I forget like what the difference in how they look is. But like clearly it would have been like a massive improvement because I played all of the Animal Crossing games.
Although I think Animal Crossing was a later release. It definitely would have been like those stigmas of like there would have been much more time for you to realize that it wasn't realize the difference by the time Animal Crossing came out.
You know what, Lyra?
What's up?
I think something else that might have helped me like accept the 3DS sooner than I accepted the Wii U as a different system than the Wii is that I had the original DS and there had been several iterations in between and then the 3DS came out. So having not played on any of those, I would have been, in my brain, it would have been like, oh, this is several systems down. It's time for a new one. Versus like, if I had like the Wii and then like the Wii U comes out and it looks like a Wii with like an extra device, I would have been like, nah.
I feel like the Wii looks more different than that, but I feel, but clearly the internet thinks I'm the minority in that opinion.
Personally, I don't really know what the Wii U looks like. I just know that it's a system with a gamepad and it's called the Wii. It's called a Wii U. It has the same name. Yeah.
It's bigger and more rounder, but I feel like the Xbox and PlayStation systems look roughly as similar as each other.
Oh yeah, I could never tell those apart.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Wii to Wii U is like the same level of looking the same as PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, if nothing else.
if that's what they were going for, they didn't necessarily make like a poor choice. They made a miscalculation on their audience being raised on Nintendo 64 to the GameCube to the Wii. And you can't just like immediately send us to.
Well, in fairness, one of the big mistakes they made is like, Sony systems look the same, but you're not gonna confuse the PlayStation 2 for the PlayStation 3 as being like a add-on. They're like, you're not gonna look at the PlayStation 3 named the PlayStation 3 and go, that's an add-on for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. It's like if they released the PlayStation 2X and expected people to like understand that it was a different system.
Side note, Xbox One sure is a system.
I don't understand anything about Xbox.
So you see, the first Xbox is called the Xbox. The second Xbox is called the Xbox 360. The third Xbox is called the Xbox One. The Xbox One and Wii U were in the same generation. Yes, Sony won. No, none of us ask why.
Why was the second one the 360? What happened to the other 359?
I don't get the logic. Tails, what's the logic behind the name 360? Tails said, oh, fun, and when you were talking about liminal spaces of airports, and I think gave me a fare about anxiety. Andrew busts in with the sup nerds, I've arrived at the stream.
Heyo!
Tails says, I should grind for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl so I can finish that.
Ugh,
also,
grinding.
Hey, Andrew. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be the worst part of finishing Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, especially the end.
Well, you have to do it because it's your job. I don't technically have to. I might do it out of pity for you. No, I also am not playing it as a Nuzlocke, so I could just, like, spam revives if I wanted to.
A fair point. I wonder how well that works against, what's her face?
Cynthia?
Not just Cynthia, post-game super boss Cynthia.
Oh.
I
don't think I've ever played post-game for Sinnoh.
It exists.
It exists?
I personally don't like post games for Pokemon games, period. But I think, in my humble opinion, I think Sinnoh has the best one.
Oh, really?
It has it has a whole new area that's not so big that it feels empty. And also isn't there because they gutted the main game. Glances at Black and White.
Hey. I personally love post games in Pokemon, so you saying that it has the best one, that gives me hope at least.
Hey. I'm surprised you say you like post games in Pokemon, because the main reason I don't like them is there's like no objective or like story to it.
Uh-huh.
So as somebody who likes the Pokemon mainly for the story, I'm like, interesting.
I think it's because I, as much as I have problem with commitment to like start things, I also get hyper nostalgia and like melancholy when things end. So it's like things have ended and now I get more. In that there's like the characters are still around. You can like run around a bit. It's like a sort of easing out where you slowly get bored rather than like, oh, there's just nothing to do anymore. But also I haven't played that many. So I probably haven't like had the chance to like get annoyed with the things. of like, oh, there's nothing here, because when I do play Pokemon, it's like I only play it once, and then I just keep playing that one game. But of the close games I've played, like Sword and Shield, very, very fun. I love the Sword and Shield brothers. They're like hilarious. And then like I know you don't like that Hop story like ends in the post game. But since I like thought that all we had was like what was in the story, it was like really nice to like see his thing end and as like the final send off of the game. And then I had all that DLC stuff. But that's not post game. That's a different thing.
Yeah. Technically speaking, you can play the armor in the main game.
Yeah, except for like you can't finish it in the main game.
You can't finish in the main game. You can do most of it.
Yeah, because then in the DLC, Hop shows up again, and it's like really nice. It's like I really like how as a character he like finishes off his route in the story, and then you like see him again like actually doing his stuff, because he's like, oh, I'm gonna go and like be a scientist or whatever, and then like he shows up and he's like, let me help with the research, and he's like so excited about it. I'm like, look at you go. I don't remember how I felt about the Black and White post game, but I did enjoy like exploring more of the region and getting like non-Unova Pokemon in the post game. The idea that like all the Unova Pokemon were in the game and then like non-Unova Pokemon were over here. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I don't remember if I like liked it or not. I think there was like hardly any content.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like half the region, but there's nothing in it.
Yeah. You find out about Kyurem, you like hunt down the old men, and then like Cynthia like beats you up in some random house.
Post-game Super Boss Cynthia.
Yeah. What else? What other post games have I played? What other Pokemon games have I played?
Red and Blue? Question mark. Those don't have a post game anyways, so
I feel okay. This is gonna sound weird. I feel like I've seen the post game for Fire Red, but I don't think I've finished Fire Red.
Interesting.
Is the Sevi Isles post game, or is that just like
that makes sense? That actually makes perfect sense. Yeah, the Sevi Isles is post game, but it lets you go to the first 3 in the main game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sure, that actually makes perfect sense.
I'm pretty sure I got to the Sevi Isles. I'm like, I don't think this is in the actual like original. And I didn't like know the concept of like post game giving you an extra area, so I thought it was just like additional content. And then like now I'm like thinking back, I'm like, was that post game? Did Omega Ruby, the Delta episode, that was a really cool post game.
Yeah, not that anyone admits it.
What, really?
Yeah.
Am I not supposed to say that in public? Am I gonna get ridiculed?
Say it in public.
You're like louder for the back.
Make the Pokemon fans angry. Tell them that Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire has one of the best post games.
Yo, like, yeah, it's like really cool. I was kind of upset at one point about the whole like multiverse thing, but I don't really remember what I was upset about. But like the actual like game part, like I think Xenia is a really cool character and she has a really cool theme song, and then it like makes you catch Rayquaza, which is really cool.
And then they make Deoxys not a mythical Pokemon. Which under certain mythical Pokemon logics means that Deoxys is now just a regular Pokemon.
Does it not get like legendary status? Is it just
under certain logics of how mythical Pokemon works? No. Honestly, mythical Pokemon is the most dumb term in the entire franchise because no one, including Game Freak, consistently uses it.
Categorizing anything in Pokemon is kind of a headache.
Something, the animals that Pokemon are based off of, can't really cleanly be categorized, and the more Pokemon there are, the more that shows in Pokemon 2.
Yeah. As much as I like... Okay, so, I won't like actually say what the like spoiler is, but I will say like in the recent like Gen 9 trailer, there was a Pokemon that was announced, and I really want to know what animal it's based off of. Not because Pokemon have to be based off like very specific animals, but because it looks like it is. Like, I low-key feel like it's on the tip of my tongue and that I know what it's based off of. But in general, I feel like if they go a little, like, you know, cuckoo with the designs, that's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind if they aren't easily categorizable. But as someone who does like categories, it is quite a nightmare if you, like, try to put them into groups.
And the issue is that the Pokemon fandom loves its groups and categories. And will fight over you saying the wrong thing. Like, boy howdy, will you have your life ended if you try to call Mew a legendary Pokemon?
Really?
Yep.
I don't really know what the consensus on like mythicals is, but I always considered mythicals a like subcategory of legendaries.
That's what it should be. That's what Joe Merrick, who's the person who runs Cerebi, thinks it is.
Oh.
And it
we
really
should just conform to that.
Yeah, it really makes sense for it to be a subcategory of legendaries because like really the core thing of mythical Pokemon that makes them different is that's basically the term for event Pokemon. They're Pokemon, they're Pokemon that you can only obtain through, like, you can't obtain them in the game, you have to, like, do an internet event or go to Game Freak or so GameStop, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So every time, like as you said, Deoxys is just available in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah.
So, like, if mythicals are not a subcategory of legendaries, Deoxys in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire loses its status as a mythical Pokemon, and now, because it's not a legendary Pokemon to fall back in, it's just a normal Pokemon.
Okay, so I suppose lore-wise, if you're like me and you believe that legendary Pokemon, I'm sure there are exceptions, but I always thought of legendary Pokemon as being like, there's one of them. That means there's a ton of Deoxys out there just floating in space that haven't made it to Earth.
And one of the issues is that's not really true.
No?
No, like, especially with, like, the legendary birds, since there are regional variants of them, that basically confirms that there are multiple of them.
That's true. I always forget about the birds.
Mm-hmm. And that's like the biggest one. There are a lot of others that are harder to know. Silvally is considered a legendary Pokemon, and there's 3 of those in game, though.
Yeah, and then there's like the story where like an Entei is born every time a volcano like erupts, and a volcano erupts every time an Entei roars. So every time an Entei roars, they give birth to another Entei. There's like 2 Lugias in the anime.
Oh, if we go by the anime, there are so many legendaries that are. Like, I was specifically trying to go by games because everyone will be like, oh, Sammy's different. But there's 2 Lugias, there's 2 Mewtwo's, there's a bunch of Shaman.
Yeah.
There's
that would
2
have drove
Celebi.
me crazy as a kid.
There's a bare minimum of 2 Celebi. There's like 50 trillion in the Celebi movie, but we don't know if that's a bunch of different ones. Or basically, whenever you see the green one, we don't know, is that a different one or is that the same one at a different point in the other one's life, even if it meets itself.
Yeah.
The only reason we know there's at least 2 is there's now a pink Celebi in the anime too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have gotten so mad because like I held strong to the belief that like legendaries, there's only one of them in the whole entire world. It's like a religion, you know?
Hey, some of them are.
Yeah.
And some of them do follow there's only one of them. You know, harder and harder to tell. And it's like as the franchise goes on, more exceptions to what we thought were rules keep popping up and punching holes into how we think of things.
If you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like, yes, Arceus is like the creator, possibly god-level creature of the Sinnoh region, but also he's this kid's dog. So like, if Pokemon wants to decide that like Arceus is just this kid's dog and there's like more than one, then I guess it's their franchise.
Okay.
You can't stop them.
Oh. I forgot. This song is the song that's currently playing is the theme song for one of the bigger inspirations for Rose.
Oh.
Hmm.
Let me see. Ooh, it's kind of oriental. That's fun.
Yeah,
Do you know what part of the game that is from?
It's like what part of this Ace Attorney game is from?
Yeah.
I think it comes up a lot because it's like she's basically like the Maya of the game. I think.
Oh, which game is this?
Miles Edgeworth.
Oh, I've never played that one. Never mind.
Haven't you not played most of them?
Yeah.
Haven't you played 2 of like 10?
You said you played Ace Attorney music once, so I thought maybe it was from the second game.
No, the one I was going with, the one I was going with even before I decided to switch it, was 3.
Oh, okay.
Smeargle comes in with a hello. Tails with the alright people hate Oras for some reason. Javier with the Oras for the win. Raikon with a for the longest time I just always referred to mythicals and legendaries and legends, and I'm guessing that's supposed to be I refuse to refer to mythicals and legends as legendaries until I found out they were apparently different. I say knock yourself out depending on how you feel about being corrected 24/7 because there's no real logic to what's what. Even Game Freak uses it differently sometimes.
I think I'm just going to create my own doctrine and follow to that.
I think there was literally a tournament that Game Freak held that was legendary Pokemon only, where mythicals weren't allowed, and then another one later under the same rules of legendaries only where they were allowed.
Oh, amazing. I love internal consistency. I'd love to have it someday.
Me. It's so annoying because Pokemon fans are so obsessive about you need to use these terms right, when in fact there is no right for them.
Mm-hmm. The actually people, the funny thing is I feel like they may have been like right at some point, and then like the target keeps shifting and they just like haven't been keeping track.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, just accept that Game Freak is just really good at monster and character designs and not very good at everything else.
Yeah.
And everything will fall into place after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just enjoy what you like from it.
And... Oh, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That's too small.
Don't forget to make his brother bigger.
All those little stuff before Smeargle showed up that I actually missed. To be honest, Andrew says, to be honest, I've watched old shows in one day, which I've watched Transformers Animated and Transformers Beast Wars in one day because I was bored. Plus, those are really good shows. Why do Gen 5 Pokemon have to take a long time just to level up? It's frustrating, to be honest, for grinding up Pokemon. Me sitting here as the little only person on the planet that thought grinding in Black and White was faster than usual.
It feels worse because you get a lot of Pokemon that evolve at like 54 or higher at like late game, so it just feels really bad.
I think another reason is it comes after Generation 4. Like, Generation 5 definitely has a slow grind if you go backwards to it, but it's faster than the Generation 4 grind, so...
Oh. I didn't play 4.
Exactly. I did. I
played 4 3 times and could never get through it.
Weak. Don't worry, Zero. I'll help you get through it. Ignore the fact that you had a stream where you got through it once.
Okay, so the first time I played it, I bought a copy bootleg from China, and it crashed because it was a bootleg. Less than halfway through. So there's that. And then my friend bought me a copy. And then I stopped playing after a while. When I picked it back up, I had no idea what I was doing, so I just stopped playing. And I played the stream, but that was a relay, so I only played 1/3 of it. So I don't know if that counts. I have gotten through the story in that regard, but haven't personally gotten through it. And now I'm playing Brilliant Diamond, and I've just completely lost interest in it after I got Arceus. So,
that's fair.
I didn't even want the game, but my brother bought the game.
It's not your fault that Legends Arceus is a vastly superior game.
It's really good.
Like, a vastly superior game to the whole franchise, not just Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah, that's fair.
Something. I think Legends Arceus proves a point that I was kind of afraid to say because it was a pretty hot take when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out. And that is, you don't hurt the games at all by changing the catching mechanic, because the catching mechanic is actually the worst part of the game.
Oh, snap. I think it would have been even harder with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, though, because wasn't the catching mechanic in that game the same as Pokemon Go?
Uh-huh.
So it would have been like, Pokemon Go, the mobile game, is a much better game.
I think that was a commonly said thing, because something, the risings of the Dexit mindset, even though it was technically before that. Because a lot of people were like, oh, it's just a worse Pokemon Go because it's got less Pokemon in it.
Is that it? That there was less Pokemon?
It's got less Pokemon, and it doesn't have the 7 islands. Those were the main things. That's basically going to be the main complaints with any Pokemon thing. They're always about quantity over quality.
Yeah, okay. So nothing substantial. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Oh, yeah, the first 3 Sevi Islands. See, they're upset that there's no post game, but the Fire Red Leaf Green post game kind of sucks, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Tails at one point was like, I think about the Fire Red Leaf Green post game, and the only thing I remember about it is that it alludes to Silver being Giovanni's son, and I'm like, no, as somebody who is one of the most Heart Gold, Soul Silver aren't as good as you remember it, people know that's absolutely the main selling point of the Sevi Islands. But that's the main selling point of Sevi Islands 4 through 7. 1 through 3 are interesting in that they're stuck after Gym 7 and before Gym 8. And that actually is one of the genuine flaws of Kanto, is that nothing happens between Gym 7 and 8.
Oh.
There's one, you start on a city below. You get your 7th badge and you swim through one route up to Pallet Town, and then you go through Route 1 to get back to Viridian City, and then you're at the 8th gym, and that's all. And you can literally fly to Viridian City and skip all of that.
Yeah. Is that a problem just because there's not enough time to like grind up for the gym?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird level curve for there being nothing in there.
Yeah, because like content-wise, I don't mind like just going straight to the final boss when you're that far in. But yeah, like for a Pokemon game where a huge part of it is you have to freaking grind Pokemon.
I raised the suggestion that the fact that a huge part of Pokemon is a big part of Pokemon. I'd say that you're correct in that statement, and that in itself is one of the biggest flaws of the Pokemon franchise. Yeah,
even Legends Arceus, I've spent a whole lot of time grinding to like fill that dex.
And it's one of the things is like, grinding is okay if you make it fun. It's really not fun in Pokemon. It's a lot more fun in Legends Arceus, though. Could be better.
It's better.
And the fact that it's like a lot of it's unnecessary. Like you say, there's just so much grinding, but how much of that is needed, and how much of that is you choosing to do it?
You have to fill the decks for the final thing.
Technically speaking, it's a post-game thing.
Yes.
Like, technically
speaking. It's content.
Yeah, but like.
You mean grinding to like beat bosses and stuff?
I mean like grinding up your level to beat bosses and like beat the main game. Like there's stuff about the post game of Legends Arceus that I will say kind of feels like is tying up loose ends, but the thing you're talking about, I feel like can be skipped if you want to.
Okay. I do kind of want to like face this final whatever it is. But I also do want here's my like conundrum. I want to fill the decks. I don't want to grind. But I will grind if I have to do that to fill the decks. At the very least, a lot of Pokemon are available just to catch.
Here's the question: Is what you're doing like you've done a lot of like completing like the actual Pokedex missions? You don't actually have to do that for what you need. You just need to catch all the Pokemon, right?
I think you just need to. The only thing I've had to grind recently is friendship for getting my Eevee to evolve because it's just way. I can't, Lyra. I can't find time rifts.
How often do you like?
I found.
How often do you like?
Found one.
How often do you like move? Like change which area you're exploring? Like which like go from like the grassy area to like the swampy area to like the icy area?
Usually not too much in one play session.
How long is a play session?
Like a day. I guess 3 hours if I'm not docked. I'll like go back to Jubilife occasionally to like get finish up my what's it called, the missions, the side quests.
That's the main thing I need to know. How often do you go back to Jubilife?
Just whenever I like finish any side quests that and stuff. I hop back and forth quite a good amount.
That will do it. I believe the way the game works is the longer you sit in an area, the more common the time rifts become.
Gotcha. I found a time rift. I was like sitting in it for a long time and nothing was happening. I was just like running in circles for a long time and then it like went away.
Huh.
And I'm like, what happened? I thought Pokemon were supposed to appear.
Sarah, I think games hate you. I think video games actually hate you. Like I think that's the story that's going on right now.
It was this is my burden to bear, I suppose.
I need everyone to ignore how awful these sketches look, and how awful the line art is turning out because of that.
I'm like looking at that that baby Kangaskhan, and I'm like, how do you even know where to put anything?
Oh, good. That's what you're focusing on.
But yeah, I've luckily, I will say luckily, part of the grinding has just been like me being stupid, because I'll be like grinding a Pokemon for a while, finally get it to level up, and then I'll like realize I had rare candies, or that that Pokemon was just out in the wild in this one area that I hadn't like been to in a while, and I could have just caught it.
I wonder how my Pokedex is looking.
But last time I played, I got a little annoyed with some of the side missions, which I was just like running back and forth in this one area looking for stuff. That's not grinding, but oh, Lyra, are you sure you want to put that foot there?
No, I'm not. These sketches are awful.
You can do it, Lyra. I believe in you.
These sketches were absolutely done in a time like when I was still really burnt out.
Mm-hmm. You're just like throwing lines down. It's like, good enough. Good enough.
Yeah. And the problem is if I try to fix them, I'll like burn myself out again.
Oh.
Like if I expend too much energy trying to fix them, I'll just like...
Yeah, that looks passable. That looks perfect.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like something of note about this we can switch back to it, but I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this as you know, as you may notice, it's a comic with Raichu, with Ash and Raichu.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't uploaded anything like that, and the main reason was because I wanted to finish it before I started, because it's only 12. Is this the Badger song?
Blue Badger?
Yeah, Blue Badger. That's the name.
Well, don't say it like that, like I'm right, because I might be wrong, and then people are gonna think I'm the dumb one.
I think it is right.
Okay. Cool.
I will fully take 50% of the blame for being dumb if it's not the Blue Badger.
We can just do that that handhold meme.
I think you're talking about the buff handshake one.
Yeah.
But something gay comment here about holding hands.
How could video games hate to Zero? What were you gonna say about the Raichu?
Oh yeah,
Let's
talk about Raichu. Before I got distracted, Badger.
Badgers.
Something. I was gonna finish it, because it's only 12 pages, and as you can see, I'm on page 8. Working on page 8 of 12.
Yeah.
But I've just been struggling to motivate myself to work on it. The sketches, I believe sketch 1, I put up on my little private Discord server I have just for transferring sketches from my phone to my computer. On April, 20-something, 2021.
Whoa.
So I've been working on this 12-page comic for over a year, and I'm just barely over half done with it.
Whoa. Oh my goodness, Lyra. That's some bad burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know your productivity, you could have gotten all 12 of those done in a month.
Mm-hmm. I think there's literally only 1 or 2 months this year where I've finished less. I think only 1. I think there's only 1 month this year where I finished less than 12 pages in it. So theoretically I could have finished this in 1 month, and it's taken over a year to not get done.
Hey, we all have those days, years, months.
We all have those days. Me, yeah, I've had 365 of them at least.
Lyra, I love Kevin's hair.
Thank.
It's so floof.
I think it was based off of Skyward Sword Link's hair.
It's much longer than his is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's longer, but that's where I started the base of the idea of it.
Mm.
Oh, here it is. This is the creepy proto-badger music. I'm not gonna tell you what this is because you need to see this scene for yourself, blind. It's important.
I cannot wait.
You don't have to play it. I'll stream it for you, but you have to see it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Tail says, you don't ever get... Do you ever get to being almost done with a page and realize this wasn't the next page that needed to be done? Wouldn't that be silly or what? To which my response is, Tails, I hope that's the same one you talked about the last time you told me this.
She's like, I did it again. Also, Tails redeemed a hydrate.
I literally already had water in my mouth.
Excellent.
I'm psychic.
Locked and loaded.
So, Lyra, how are you doing, Tails? No, me too. So, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is, boy howdy, you're gonna have to rush for that next page. The good news is, once you finish it, you're gonna have quite the buffer.
I'm like wondering now if it's like she skipped a page, did a page, and then skipped the next page and did another page.
Oh no. Whose music is this?
Huh?
I'm gonna check. We're at 1 hour 6 minutes. Interesting, people. So this may be the what's her face? What's that lady from the first game and the third case in it? Who talks too fast for you to read her dialogue unless your name is Lucagen?
Old bag?
Yeah, Old Bag.
Windy old bag.
Windy Old Bag. Shout out to the Let's Player I watched who's actually able to read her dialogue when she's like supposed to be going too fast for you to read it.
That's great. That's odd, Lyra. I can't help but notice you're working on this page that I already drew for you.
You don't say. So exciting. Bolt gets to fight. Oh, Sharp. Bolt is Sharp.
Sharp.
I have two Poochienas now. And one of the main distinctions is Rika's markings are all more rounded and Bolt's markings are all more pointed.
Ooh, nice. Is Bolt the only one he's gonna be fighting in this battle?
Of course not. Kevin will be too. Hey, you made the reference to your April Fool's page already. You can't.
I guess so. I want to do a picture someday of like every single Pokemon character that I have. That's gonna be fun.
I wish
because I have like 3 different members of the Sandile line.
Beautiful. You do, don't you? I need to step up my game. I have like 4 Pikachus.
Hey.
You have almost as many Sandiles as I have Pikachus, and that's not even Autonos.
I know, right? If you're counting all of your flashes as separate Pikachus, though, then I do have like more Audinos.
Huh?
Because I basically have one Audino character, but I've used him in like 3 different things.
Ah.
So if you're counting all of your flashes, then technically I have... Oh, he hasn't shown up in that one. Technically 3 Audinos.
No, I was counting Ash's Pikachu, who I guess technically isn't even my character.
Made it your character.
How's Pikachu, who I guess technically isn't a Pikachu yet.
Okay.
Pulse and the Pikachu partner team member for As Told by Us.
Oh, okay. I forgot about how having one eventually, so that's why I thought you were like counting multiple flashes.
Oh yeah, I also have the Heroes of Hoenn one that people called me out on, saying it was obvious.
I'll believe it when I see it.
What?
You got a Heroes of Hoenn one coming up?
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about?
I have a Pikachu in Heroes of Hoenn.
Like right now?
No, like eventually.
Yeah. If it hasn't happened yet, I like pics where it didn't happen.
So basically the opposite reaction of everyone else.
No, it's not that I don't believe you. It's that I can't be expected to remember a character that doesn't exist.
Hey, they exist in my head.
I have 2 Raichu characters, and one of them is because I have a Raichu in my Ruby game. So it's not too surprising that you also got one.
Got one in Ruby? Like
Yeah.
the regular playthrough, right?
Yeah.
Raichu's in the equivalent of the Safari Zone. Or I think it actually is still called the Safari Zone. With the same percentage chance of it showing up as in Viridian Forest, so a 5% chance.
Huh?
So like you have a 5% chance of it spawning, and once it does spawn, you have a chance of it running away when you try to catch it.
Wow.
So like
How did I get one?
yeah, so catching a Pikachu in Hoenn, especially in a Nuzlocke, is not.
Oh, not in a Nuzlocke.
I know, not a Nuzlocke for you, but it is in a Nuzlocke for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Didn't know what the chances were. That's very steep.
Yeah. Javier says Zero Ruby comic when?
No. No, that's okay.
Zero's too busy planning for our gag comic together.
Oh yeah. Wait, we're planning? We need to make plans for that?
Zero, I gave you an opening. I gave you a way out and you squandered it.
Oh no! To be honest, I remember doing an Omega Ruby Nuzlocke and remember the first Pokemon encounter in the Safari Zone was a shiny Pikachu, which they became a permanent member on the team in the Nuzlocke, which was fun using them in the run.
What did I break?
Everything. I think you moved your color palette out from under where your brushes were.
How did I do that?
By grabbing the black bar at the top of that palette and then like bringing it down. Ooh. Cool.
That's not what happened because I grabbed everything and moved it over there somehow.
Huh. Okay. Then I have no idea. Witchcraft.
Which is why I'm like, how did that happen? Because, like, you know, everything moved. Like, hold on, what? Like, I'd understand if it was just like the... Need to be a little smaller. There we go. But like, it somehow dragged everything out there. So I hear the people here around here like Pokemon.
Really? Why would that be the case? Where would you get that idea from, Lyra?
Just a supposition. That's gonna look like a mess until there are colors in. What's up?
Thinking of all the Pokemon games that I've played. And how I've like I don't have any of them anymore. And I'm just like, yeah, I think games hate me. Because like, you know how I always get the red version of the games when they come out?
Something Zero the Red Wolf.
You know, that it was a thing before I was a Red Wolf, and I never made that connection before. But I'm gonna say yes. Yeah, you know how I'm Zero the Red Wolf. So because it's on brand, I always get the red version, and because of that reason, this is why I do it.
Of course.
That's so funny. But for some reason, the only Gen 1 game I have in my possession right now is Pokemon Blue.
It's got you feeling pretty blue, no doubt.
Yeah, not only that I have lost my red cartridge, but I don't know where this Pokemon Blue cartridge came from.
I can't believe Zero the Red Wolf lost her red game.
And also apparently stole someone's Pokemon Blue.
You stole it just because to exhibit how blue you're feeling.
Yeah.
Something your brand continues to melt away.
No, Lyra, you can't do this to me.
Hey, I didn't do it. The video games that hate you did it.
Javier Zero still needs to continue their Gen 5 Nuzlocke comic, but I'm guessing Zero's taking a little break from what happened in the last panel of their comic. Yeah, I'm taking a break. Kind of yes and not really, because I'm still working on it. But oh boy, it's getting a little difficult in terms of the story.
Gag locks for the win.
Except now you have to like actually play your game. Sounds like work to me.
Hey, I only have to do that because I started a new one.
Well, regardless of what happens, Zero is still free.
And nothing
How
will
did
change
it
that.
hurt you? Why does it always come back to this?
Because it's the truth, and sometimes you just have to speak the truth.
Lyra, I don't want any sass from you.
Why not? I hear it's adorable when I sass people.
Ooh, is this gonna be a long?
Sorta.
Ooh.
Doo-doo.
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 Da-dum.
25.
26.
Can't believe Zero's demanding I draw with a bigger pen.
Man, I sure miss the Photoshop line tool that does perpendicular lines.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Two things I still miss about Photoshop. When you hit shift, it doesn't like make you draw lines like how you did with the click and then click. You can do that, but if you hold shift and drag your pen across the canvas, no matter how like straight you like draw it, it will make the line go across straight. With like pen weight and all that.
See, this is why I had to change off the Photoshop. It's making me do things straight.
And the second thing is when you draw a marquee, before you like release to make the selection, you can hold down shift to move it around. Not shift, I think maybe it's like, is it shift? It's either shift or the space key. You can like move it around slightly before you release it to like better position.
The thing I mainly miss from Photoshop is the edge effect being able to be put on the inside of the selection.
You can't do that anymore?
You can't do that with CSP. You cannot.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, that's why I like went. That's why the speech bubbles for all of my. Oops, not that. That's why I'm gonna want my speech bubbles for stuff. I just use like a really rounded one because there's just no ability to make it look like pointed.
Yeah, that sucks. For the longest time, I couldn't even figure out how to do the edge in general in CSP. I thought it wasn't even like an option, and then you like showed me how to do it, and I'm like, oh, there it is.
Beautiful.
Is this a rare digital sketching by Lyra that we're watching?
It's a rare digital sketching by Lyra that you're watching.
Amazing. It's been a while since I've drawn with a graphics tablet. I don't even know how well I would be able to sketch digitally on one of those anymore.
Witchcraft.
Wizardry. Well, regardless of what... Wait, Zero has Pokemon Blue, she must be rich.
Hey, some of us just have the games from when they were new and didn't cost $1 million.
And some of us just have Pokemon Blue cartridges generate out of thin air. But hi, bye, Javier. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
I think the only EVs I have left to get in Arceus are the Espeon, Sylveon, and Glaceon.
Espeon, Sylveon, and it's funny, you're like, oh, I have all these friendship EVs to evolve I have to work towards, and me and Tails are just like having gotten the EVs for our base playthrough, like, imagine having to work towards those in late game.
Yeah. Funny thing enough, when I finally caught an Oshawott, it was like way high level, so it just like automatically was ready to evolve into a Samurott. And okay, Lyra, I don't know if my Oshawott was just really, really small, but my Samurott is itty bitty. It is so short.
Small.
It's so small, I can't. I also just found out yesterday that Dunsparce are the same height as Salamence.
How does it make you feel? I like how the anime will just like look at heights and will do the Frieza meme and just be like, I'll ignore that. Because Dunsparce in that Dunsparce episode is absolutely not Salamence sized.
Right? I feel like Salamence is way smaller than I expected it to be, depending on how you measure Pokemon. It's either way smaller than I expected it to be, or it's the right size. But even if it's smaller than I expected it to be, that's still too big for Dunsparce! Though I think Dunsparce is like based on like some Japanese yokai, right?
Yeah.
That's like a snake that like digs backwards and could potentially grow to like the size of a mountain.
Probably.
So maybe like most Dunsparce we see are just like really small.
You know, that's one thing that always weirds me out. People are always really quick to be like, look at stuff the anime does and be like, no, that doesn't count. That's a different universe. It's different canon. Which A is already annoying because people insult it for not following canon already. But when it like does something that makes sense, like, no, it's a different canon. Don't look at it.
Stupid.
But like, they'll even like deny it when it's like defending their point. Like people always be like, oh, the sizes in Pokemon are so dumb, like everything's so weirdly sized, and like you'll point at the anime and be like, the anime seems to fix it, why don't you just use stuff from that? And like, no, that's a different thing, that doesn't count.
Okay.
It is absolutely a different continuity with its different rules and stuff, but also it's like an official product that was approved.
Yeah. And they have some good ideas, like I always remember, it's always stuck with me. 2 instances. Lyra, I'm watching you. I see this face you're making. But like when I Lyra, I love working with canon Pokemon sizes. People are like, they see it, it doesn't match what they have in their head, and they like get upset or they choose to ignore it. I might play up that I'm upset about Dunsparce, but I will stick to it because it's way more interesting to me to like do that. And to like find reasons to make it make sense. Like for Salamence, I'll be like, oh, it like you can measure it up to its like back or something, and then that'll make it like much bigger than you know, like there are ways to like change it up that doesn't ignore the canon height that the game gives you. But then like 2 things that always stuck out to me from the anime that like really helped me understand Pokemon heights as not like a single thing and more like a average is that one scene where Oak has like Ash's Krabby in a jar, and then it like pans over and Gary's Krabby is like 10 times as big as Ash's. And it's just like, okay. And then the other one is like when Charizard is like meeting all these other Charizard, and one of them is just like 5 feet taller than him, you know? And it's like, okay, so like right there clearly shows that Pokemon have a height but can vary drastically by height. And now Arceus has like just like game canon for this.
It's so funny. Like Pokemon, like the anime was like, oh, they have varied heights, and people are like, oh, I hate these stupid heights. And then Pokemon Go was like, oh, look, they have varied heights, and people are like, oh, it's stupid heights. And then Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were like, oh, they have varied heights, and it was like, oh, it's stupid. And then Legend Arceus, like, no matter how much we make it canon that they have varied heights, people don't like seem to like get it in their head.
But it's like so dumb. Why wouldn't you accept that there are varied heights? It's the most natural thing. It like human beings have varied heights. Are you? What's so hard to accept about it? I'm like,
It doesn't.
one
Zero,
of my favorite.
Zero.
Yeah.
See, the problem is, it doesn't follow Vigigame logic, and how dare it not follow Vigigame logic?
But it's following Vigigame logic. It's in the Vigigame.
Counterpoint. And look, a bear. That's the wrong size.
My absolute favorite. I am the wrong layer. My absolute favorite thing about Arceus is that they like visually represent the height differences.
Oh no.
The size differences. Cause like that stuff's my jam.
Jams your jellies.
One of my favorite things about Zootopia is like it's like an animal story, but they don't equalize everything to be the same size, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You have like the mice and the giraffes, and they're like actual sized
The
to what
rats.
they should be.
The rats still be tiny.
Yeah.
Zero.
Uh-huh.
I have an important request for you.
Yes.
Entertain the squad while I go to the bathroom.
Okay. All right, squad.
Look-a-boo. Oh, hold on.
It's a BRB screen. Oh no, it's gone.
There we go. Alright. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good. Hi. How are you guys? So I have like a lot of alpha Pokemon, and I've been using them on my team in Legends Arceus. But like it's so funny seeing some of the normal versions of the Pokemon after running around with the big guys for so long, because I get used to seeing that Pokemon at that size. And then I just like pull out a normal sized Ursaluna, and it's like a baby. And I'm like, what? Why are you so small? Oh, my Ursaluna and the one I ride are both alpha Pokemon. Gotcha. Which is hilarious. But like some of them are like clearly too big. Like the alpha Gastrodon is an amazing size for Gastrodon, but it feels like an oversized Gastrodon. Meanwhile, like a Samurott, right? Like I haven't seen an alpha Samurott. But having seen a normal size Samurott, I feel like if I had an alpha size Samurott, it would look like a normal size Samurott, like what I would expect a normal size Samurott to be. Unless I didn't give that Buizel guy a alpha Buizel by accident, and it was just a normal, really big Buizel, then maybe like Samurott can vary from very small to very big, and alpha Samurotts are like way too big. But as it is, I'm just imagining the size my Samurott is, and an alpha version of that would probably be about where it should be.
Wee wee.
And then you have Braviary. Oh, Lyra's back.
Oh, have you ever checked like the actual height of your Samurott? Like how tall it's said to be in your game?
Where does it say where it's supposed to be in the game?
Under the summary, I believe.
I know where to check for my Samurotts, but where do you check for where what height they're supposed to be?
Then you'd have to look up like on Cerebi or something.
Oh, okay.
Yonk.
I'll do that just to check, because I have no idea.
Yonk. Yonk. Yonk.
Yonk where?
Yonk.
Where are you yonking?
Right here.
Where
Yonk, yonk. Samurott or 4'11".
Oh, you're looking it up. But I don't have my game, so I can't check.
Betrayal.
But then I like put out a normal Braviary, and it's like huge.
Well, Tails says it's in the decks in the game to give you a range from biggest to smallest.
Cool.
That feels like something Tails would know. Like something a nerd would know.
Yeah, I like the kind of game that Arceus is, but at my age, after I've played this kind of game, I feel like I've wasted a lot of time.
No, it's fine. It's what you deserved. Some nice, chillaxation.
Yeah.
Just let yourself have some fun. It's what you deserve.
Aw. Thanks, Lyra. I'm trying.
I believe in you.
It's Monferno. I love Monferno.
I think this is actually white. I don't use white as much as I should.
No?
Yeah, I only use it for eyes and parts of me. And I should use it on other characters. Eyes and teeth. Eyes, teeth, and parts of me. And I should use it for other stuff too.
Yeah.
Like when I do stuff in color, I'm super adverse to a straight up white. I usually go with like something like really pale.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't come naturally to me to use white.
I've never been very good at doing that.
Doing what?
Using something very pale. I always pick a color that's a little too dark to read. I think I colored a character once that's supposed to be like a really pale blue. Basically, it's like white because it's made of light material, but like it's like tinted blue. And when I showed the person, they're like, "Why is he blue?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Why is he blue? They're blue." Oh, I think it might be something to do with my tablet screen.
Maybe. I can certainly do it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I've had trouble picking those kind of really pale colors.
It doesn't look as good when it's not in between. I'm gonna leave that as pale colors. There we go. It's good on the face when it's between the darkest and the lightest color, but not so much when it's just in between the two.
Yeah. Are they supposed to be yellow?
Yeah, it's supposed to be yellow. I'm gonna look up a good old monk. How you looking, Monferno? Great, but how else? Please, stop. Please. Please! There we go.
Orbit's here. Says, I love Pan. She's such a bean.
The whole bean. Also, the next flute is just straight up white in the official art.
Now says you deserve to do things that you enjoy. If you enjoyed it, it wasn't a waste of time.
I second the statement. Alright, let me try, I largely use the same colors for, everything, so let me try and, like, mentally, like, remember which colors are which without, like, color picking every single thing. Every time I switch characters.
Imagine not using swatches.
I've been burned by swatches too many times. Every time I try to use them, they reset on me.
It's so weird. It turns out CSP Swatches hates Lyra just as much as video games hates me.
Indeed. And I will admit, it may have only done it once, but once was enough time to burn me and make me scared to do it again.
Oh, Corbin thinks I'm Pepper. I'm Zero! Corbin says, alright, forgot to tell you, but I forgot I had 2 revives left, so Taro, the Sandslash, and Magnus, the Numel, came back to life due to my idiots. I'm confused. Probably something Pepper knows about.
Probably something Pepper knows about.
Hen learned sass. Lyra's being a good serial kidnapper. I mean mother. Good trainer. Zero and Pepper voices sound similar. Good to know I sound adorable still in my old age.
You're old. What does that make me?
Almost old.
Bidoof.
Bidoof.
I think Bidoof was one of the ones I changed colors on. Let's find out. Nope, that's that color right there. Okay.
So Lyra Discord overlay when? Tails wants you to do work.
Tails wants me to do work, which is honestly kind of mean.
Lyra VTuber. You have so many Sonas. Which one would you choose for a VTuber?
Just gotta switch every day.
All of them.
The question is, which one would I start with? Because I do like use like different mascots depending on what game I'm playing for the thumbnails.
Corbett says Barbaro doesn't have ears!
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, this is a Barbaro right here, and this is its ears.
Barbaro doesn't have ears!
Clearly are incorrect in this statement. No. No. That's not good. Wait. Dark. Turn the close gap down so I don't have to
Yeah.
walk in. Hey, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
I forgot about
It's Superman.
Forgot about this gag. Here, this is a great gag. Warg, I see you've evolved your monkey. Quite a good choice for this gem. My monkey. Actually, there's a different star for this show. The Pokemon named Star. Wait, what about me?
Oh.
The Pokemon named Star who's weak against Gym. Wait, what about me?
Amazing. You being the same size as your Pokemon is hilarious. How big would Zero the Red Wolf be?
How big would Zero the Red Wolf be? We have to know for when we do our gag comic.
Yeah.
You have to know how big your Pokemon will be next to you.
What's the size of average wolf?
Are you gonna be bigger than me?
Of course, you're a fox. I remember a wolf is about like the same weight as I am and a little taller if standing upright. A little taller, much taller, I think, standing upright. Okay, so at the shoulders, a wolf is 2.6 to 2.8 feet. And 120 pounds. Adult length is 5.2 feet. That's usually from nose to base of the tail, I think. Which means if you add on about 3 feet for the legs, that's too big.
So if how
many feet are your legs?
Huh?
3? Is it 3 or 2? I'm bad at size. 3, 2, 3.
2 to 3, I think, depending on your height and how long your legs are.
Oh, lordy.
Because some people will just have long legs and have shorter people will have as long legs as taller people, so it varies.
So I'm big.
So how tall did you say it was to the shoulder?
It is 2.6 to 2.8 for adult wolves.
2.6.
Zero, the red wolf, is probably a little smaller, so like I'd go 2.6 probably. She is a female, younger female.
Oh well, you say she's a female, but are wolves the kind of species where the female is smaller?
The female's way less. But they don't have a different size for female to male, so based on the fact that females weigh less generally, I'm assuming they're also smaller. Like, that makes sense to me.
Maybe. 2.6 is not 2 feet 6 inches. That'd be a little more than that, actually.
Just two.
So since that's to the shoulder, if they like sat down, would they be a little taller because it adds on the height of their head?
Well, the thing with wolves is they don't typically hold their heads up.
They don't typically, however.
Would it be up when they sit? I don't actually know. I've seen pictures.
If you do yourself on your haunches, would you hold your head up? Because this is the important part of this conversation.
Oh, true. Probably, yeah. But I don't know how much it would add to it.
Good question.
I have seen like pictures. I'm gonna send this to you. I have seen pictures of like wolves standing up against people, and they seem to be like the same size as people.
Mm-hmm. So here's
but I don't know if that's just like a really small wolf.
So here's the deal. You're absolutely bigger than me overall.
But by how much is the question.
Yes. Well, no. Here, the question is like you're definitely bigger than me overall, but like what's going to be important for like a comic is like in a situation like this right here, like you'd be like sitting on your haunches, not like standing on your back legs. So that would be that would be the most common point where we would be comparing our heights.
My wolf character isn't typically bipedal, so she would be standing on her paws. So if we were standing next to each other, Braxton being 3'3", I think means your head is higher than my back, but my head would probably be about where your head is. So we'd be on eye level.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And then on top of that, if I were to like stand up, I would then like tower over you. But if I were to be like walking next to you, I would be on all fours. And I believe sitting would be the same height as walking on all fours. That makes sense to me.
Another thing to factor in is, do I want to make myself shorter than a normal Braxton? Because I do tend to make myself short.
True. How big is Monferno? Monferno. Ooh, they're calling for dinner. How much longer are we going for?
Well, technically it ends in like 6 minutes. That's the 2-hour mark. But alas, I was kind of hoping to go a little longer to get like actual farmers done because I haven't actually gotten like anything done yet.
Okay, I can let them know that I'll skip dinner then.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hostage.
Yeah, it's a no worries.
Okay, if you're sure. then I boop you in the snoot.
Gosh.
I just noticed the chat is gone. Like, it's not the biggest deal on these stream days, as long as OBS is behind it, which it was, because I do have this chat open on OBS, where I can see it, but also I can't see it well. Is this supposed to be a color? It is. It is supposed to be a color. Sure, why don't you tell me?
I don't know. I seem to have lost my sense of color looking at this comic. Everything looks pink.
This feels like sass. Why was that worse? Sure, I'm confused.
I don't know. Fun fact, take any height you imagine Wolf to be and double it. Why?
Because they're big. Big. Also, the music ended.
Oh.
Because I picked the one that was 2 hours. Let's go with the other one I was gonna do then. I didn't watch enough of it, so apparently it doesn't show up in my history. Am I crazy? Don't play.
It doesn't exist.
Don't play. That's copyrighted music right there. Don't play.
Oh no. My favorite Ace Attorney song is the one that's like da 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 da.
Ah, the Maya song.
Yeah.
I see you're a person of culture.
Gosh, they keep calling me. How about I hop off for like 15 minutes or so, and I'll be right back.
Okie do.
All right, I'll catch you in a little bit. Hold down the fort while I go.
I only promise to try.
All right. Boop.
Boop. So how are the boys and girls of the class doing? Doing good, Tail says. You mean Rourke's glasses? They're on a different layer that I turn invisible so I can color it. I no longer need this open. Team Discovery. Herm. Where's my... There it is. I say long after I found it. Here comes Rika. Here it is. Here's the other Poochyena I have where their markings are rounder. For a moment, I thought there would be some sort of negative connotation about the girl Poochyena having the round marks, the boy having the pointy ones, before I remembered that they're both girls. Here comes the girl. What is all this stuff, you ask? I don't know. Potion making stuff. Can't believe my signature style is to make everything adorable. What is she looking for? I don't remember, actually. I need to change that in the dialogue. It doesn't actually say. Doing good trying to train up Dredigan and Pharisee to reach my Pyre's current level.
Hello.
Hello!
Hi. I went to tell them to stop.
How'd it go? Look at this.
It's fine.
Look at this sketch. Look at how much depression I have in this moment.
What even are those berries? Just Mama Kanga like holding a bunch of berries. Oh wait, I think those are beans.
Yes,
Get
they're
it?
beans.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Lyra's signature style make every Pokemon rounder and cuter and fluffier.
Being called out.
Val. Accurate.
That's what makes it a call out.
I'm proud of you for not making Kangaskhan fluffy.
You heard it here, guys. I should make Kangaskhan fluffy. It's off-brand for me to not do so.
I can't believe Lyra doesn't want me to be proud of her.
This feels like the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed kind of bullying. If it looks like I'm ignoring the sketch, that's because I am.
Freehand. Lyra just, I'm free-handed. Or is it I want to try orange berries IRL or even Pekka berries? So Lyra, since orange berries are based on oranges, but they're like blue, do you imagine they taste citrusy or do they taste like something else?
I've always imagined they taste citrusy.
Really?
I've imagined they taste citrusy before I realized that they were based off of oranges.
Really?
Let's go. Oh.
I never quite understood that they were based on oranges. I knew that orange berry, like orange, since all the other berries kind of like sounded like certain fruits, I'm like, that sounds like orange. But they didn't design it right because it doesn't look like an orange.
Which is
and
funny,
then like
it looks exactly like an orange except blue.
Right? But like from my inability to see it as an orange, I just was like, it's like a blueberry, because they also have those like little things on the top. The
True.
Little,
I think that's what I originally thought it was.
Yeah. Why'd you think it tasted like an orange?
I don't know.
It's so funny.
I think it had something to do with the way it sounded like when it was bitten into, which doesn't make any sense because it sounds like an apple when they bite into it in the PMD thing. I don't know. Imagine not having seen the PMD special and having it permanently redirect your course of life for the rest of your life.
Yeah, or if I saw it, it was like much later after I had already formed opinions.
Formed opinions about what?
About
the
orangeberry. I don't think I thought they tasted like blueberries necessarily, but I didn't think they would taste like oranges because I imagined eating them like whole and not peeling them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Which, once again, is how they're always eaten. So, just like the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, why did I think they tasted like oranges?
It was probably just the name. It had to be.
But I didn't even realize the name meant oranges.
Oh.
I'm bad at pun names. I didn't get the pun with Will Powers or Jackhammer until it was pointed out to me.
Lyra, that's adorable. I don't think I got orangeberry by itself, but I definitely got Pekka berry. And then later, I either figured out on my own or someone told me about Leppa berry, because Leppa berries are my favorite. And because of Leppa berry, I was like, wait, are the other ones also like weird mix-ups of regular fruit names? And so I went like looking for it.
Beautiful. Also, Tails is like, how have you not seen the PMD special at a pivotal moment in your life that makes you say, I don't like it, I don't care, everyone else says I don't like it one bit, in a stupid voice for the rest of your life.
I literally associate that line with Tails.
Tails is having a revelation, a moment in the chat.
Orange. Wait.
How you doing, Tails?
Is the PMD special the one where there's like a Pikachu that just has like a normal dude's voice?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched that like way later in life, but I thought that was hilarious that Pikachu, normally like associated with having a very feminine sounding high pitched voice, is just up in here going, normal human words in a normal human voice.
I find it funny how people were just like all thrown off by Pikachu having a high feminine voice in the I Choose You movie.
Huh. Did they expect a normal human voice?
I have no clue what they were expecting.
Was it the fact that his voice was high-pitched and feminine, or was it because he was speaking words?
It was partially because he was speaking words, but how high-pitched and feminine was brought up more than once as one of their grievances with it.
Okay, that's odd.
It's definitely, we have a problem with him speaking, period. So we're gonna look for other issues, since that at its core is really a personal taste thing and not an objective flaw. So we're gonna look for objective flaws even if they don't exist.
Okay, that makes more sense and is also stupid.
Everyone does it. That's not even a Pokemon fan thing.
How else would you have Pikachu sound? That's what I'm hung up on. Is like, if you want to say that that's an objective flaw, there should be an objective fix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the fix, guys? What would you what would you prefer Pikachu to sound like?
And this was before Detective Pikachu, so you can't blame it on that.
Oh. Yeah, Detective Pikachu was also hilarious. The thing with Detective Pikachu, though, is you kind of get the sense that it was meant to be hilarious versus, like, the PMD special where it just kind of makes sense that he would sound like a person, but also it's, like, really weird because you're not used to it. Ah!
Oh, it's not the eraser, that's why.
Oh. Lyra.
So Zero.
You know several songs by heart.
You could say that, yes.
Have you ever, like, sat yourself down and been like, I like this song, I'm going to learn it? And
Yeah.
if you have, how long does that usually take you?
Honestly, not long from what I've seen. I think it depends, because I've done that a lot with a lot of the season 1 My Little Pony songs recently.
Hmm.
And honestly, they all took like 1 to 3 days each.
Okay.
But the issue with using that as a gauge is I've listened to all of those songs so much. And it was less so learning the songs from scratch and more so filling in my blanks in all these songs that I know a lot of but cannot sing start to finish.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Song of everyone's favorite character, Detective Luke at Me.
Detective Luke. What?
Luke at Me, Ace Detective.
Luke at me?
Yeah, Luke at me.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Don't be surprised, it's Phoenix Wright. The witness of the first. The witness of the. Come on, the witness of the first trial is Mr. Saw It.
I know. Oh my goodness.
And there are definitely some. There's all sorts of people. Like, the funniest thing about Ace Attorney when you don't know anything about it is you'll see people making jokes about it, and you go, haha, that's a funny exaggeration of the truth, and they play more games and they'll be like, oh, That was not an exaggeration.
Amazing. Tails is having several moments, all of the moments at once. Always assumed they had an apple texture but a blueberry taste. Oh yeah, that Pika is just a dude. How dare you put to be continued and make child me hope on a sequel that will never come.
Oh, that's what I was going to bring up.
Poor Corvid.
Oh, I was also especially expecting a series to continue that never came.
Oh. Tails says, in fairness, I don't think people expected a voice. But they don't have to complain about the voice they got if they don't have a proper alternative. Corvid's like, so funny story. In my leaf green Nuzlocke, I had caught a safari Kangaskhan named Bruno, but we don't talk about. And I had an idea where I had only trained the baby as its own Pokemon because Mother was old, and I kind of drove my drive to see a Kangaskid Pokemon that wasn't Cubone. Yeah, I really like the design of the Kangaskid from the Mega Kangaskhan. Also, petition for Lyra to call this middle stage evolution Kangaskid.
Special shout out to the fact that they added babies in Generation 2, the generation right after Kangaskhan was introduced, and gave babies to all kinds of Generation 1 Pokemon. And it never once occurred to them to take the already existing baby version of a Pokemon. Like, they didn't even have to design anything, they just had to pull the baby in Kangaskhan's pouch and set it to the side, and boom, you have a new Pokemon.
I think do you remember how Pokemon is really weird about retconning stuff?
Yes.
I think it's because you already have Kangaskhan appearing out of an egg with a baby that they couldn't, like... Oh, you're saying in Generation 2, like, when it first started?
Yeah.
They should have just, like, split it.
Yeah, like back before there was any sort of, like, continuity or anything to break, when they introduced baby Pokemon, and there was no continuity to ruin... They should have just set it aside and said, look, lads, it's a new Pokemon.
It's a new Pokemon.
They literally did not even have to design it.
Would they have been like... I feel like they wouldn't have thought this far into it, but would they have been like, oh, well, we can't have a baby Kangaskhan come out of an egg, and then when it evolves, it has a baby.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But, like, I'm wondering, is there, like... Are there people at Game Freak who are actually thinking about the lore and stuff like this to this extent? Like, oh, well, this wouldn't make sense because blah, blah, blah.
I hope so, because, like, so many of the things don't make sense unless they really don't like breaking continuity. Like, it's already a dumb reason, but if you, like, say that, no, they're not even using that reasoning, it makes even less sense.
Yeah. If
Like,
there is a job like that, I want that job. It sounds like an awesome job.
Just be the Matt Pat for your games, except, like, you actually, like, are in charge of it. Of making it canon.
I don't want to be the guy who comes up with new stuff because I'm bad at that, but I want to be the guy who, like, nitpicks the new stuff to follow.
Exactly, the Matt Pat. Oh, this is a complicated panel. Why did I start it?
It's too late.
It's too late. We're started. We have to do it now.
Yeah, law of inertia. Does this bird have the same face pattern as your dog?
It has a similar one.
Corvid Curiosity redeemed a posture check, Lyra!
Oh no, how am I supposed to check my posture when I'm drawing?
You gotta put your pen down and stretch!
But that's a different reward.
Wait, it is?
Yeah. That's stretch.
Well, just make sure that you're holding your pen in a way that isn't going to permanently damage your pinky, as I sometimes do. Sometimes I finish drawing for 3 hours and I'm like, my pinky hurts. Can I lop it off? Because I hate that. Oh, well, Lyra, you're also getting a stretch and a hydrate, so it's a triple whammy.
It's a triple threat. I'm being forced to be responsible. Who's forcing me to be responsible?
Corvid.
How dare you?
Corvid says I have 10k points. I can spam this.
I'm creative.
Oh man, I have so many points.
How many points do you have? 0? And in one number, explain to me why we won't have a sing mode.
136.7k.
Too much power. So 13 times as much as Corbin.
I just never use them.
In fairness, I just introduced stuff to use them for.
Yeah.
And not even all that much.
Even outside of your streams, I don't have anything to use it on. Because, I never really watch streams. Tails only recently, introduced channel points, and I'm saving mine to, spam sing mode at some point.
Well, those are, channel to channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Wait.
So that's 10,000, that's 100,000 specifically for my channel.
Oh, I thought it was a pool.
No.
This changes everything. Tails is chanting, sing mode, sing mode.
I do hear Zero likes to sing.
I do like to sing. I don't know any pony songs. I know the opening. Is this new Bite animation introduced in Sun and Moon Anime a callback to Bite being a special attack back then?
I don't know. I use it because it allows there to be a distinction between the move bite and the action of biting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always been annoyed by the implication that you cannot sink your teeth into your opponent unless you know the move bite. Whether you try to say that it's a rules and regulation thing or a Now the one thing I have an issue with the rule, saying that the move limit is a regulation thing, is only 4 moves when you block basic actions like biting and sucker punching, which in Japanese is called a sneak attack.
Oh.
you're Pokemon moves are literally just really basic actions a lot of times. So it's punch, kick, whack them with your tail, bite them, headbutt them, tackle them. Like, all of these super duper basic actions are moves, and the implication that you may be able to learn more than 4, but like super duper basic stuff like that is not allowed, except for 4 of them, is really, really limiting when you're trying to like have your battle manga style comics.
Yeah.
Also, it's coffee time.
What?
It's coffee time.
Oh.
It's the coffee dude from Ace Attorney's theme song.
I love that guy's theme song.
Oh, it's already gone.
Oh. I love that theme song. I love to wave at it as it goes by. Hale says, did someone say coffee time?
Tails, like, Pokemon moves are basic actions most of the time, and they're right next to moves like Bitter Malice and Infernal Parade.
Are you saying Bitter Malice isn't one of your basic actions?
I think the way it actually harms you isn't a basic action.
Oh.
Something, kind of like how I made Bite a magic
Yeah.
thing, so it could be different from like the actual action of biting.
It also makes it more a dark type move and not a normal type move.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the reason I like seeing that floaty bite thing. I unfortunately don't watch the anime, so I didn't know about that floaty bite thing until much too late. So I do have a battle in my comic where the dogs just bite each other.
How late into the Nuzlocke was that a thing? Because I believe that visual of bite was introduced in Alola. Do not quote me on that. I think it was, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And secondly, Petty did that in her Nuzlocke before the anime did it.
He did?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I think it was in the Elite Four. It was like really late. I remember it because I always remember this fact because people praised Petty for being creative in that portrayal and then insulted the anime for doing it.
What?
I don't know if it's the same people, just, you know, the fact that the same things that will get praised in fan works getting insulted in the anime because the anime is the anime and can't do anything right. So it's you know, something that's always annoyed me a little bit.
Did she get it from the anime?
No, because as I said, she definitely did it before the anime did it. Because I believe, I'm pretty sure it was something first done in Alola.
Right, and the Pokemon Black hadn't come out yet.
And is Petty's comic really so old that Pokemon Black hadn't come out yet? Lordy.
Yeah. And I know that because I specifically stayed completely blind to Pokemon Black news so that I could do a Nuzlocke for it. and I wanted to do a Nuzlocke because of runs like Petty and Kainem and the original Nuzlocke. Dude.
Me, Zero, handshake meme, being inspired by Petty to do a Nuzlocke comic.
Yeah.
I was talking about nostalgia lock, but I just had the sudden realization that, or not realization, I've noticed it a few times before, but I suddenly remembered that I technically was inspired to do a Nuzlocke twice by Petty.
Oh? Like you were inspired, then you forgot, and then you were inspired again, or
no, I was inspired. Before I did Heroes of Hoenn, I saw Petty's and was like, I feel like I could handle doing a comic like that, and was inspired to do Heroes of Hoenn. And then years later, I reread Petty's and was like, man, Heroes of Hoenn was going to be like a fun silly gag comic, and now it's more serious and takes forever to work on. I miss the old days. It's just like simple, sketchy, not too complicated gag comic. And I was like, well, what if I did one?
That's awesome.
Tails is like, Zero, is bitter malice a basic action for you? Are you doing okay?
When I imagined Crunch, I imagine glowing fangs, but they grow much bigger, sharper, and basically turn into bad news. People sure are normal about the anime. They sure have normal expectations and criticisms about it. Remembers the Pokemon Origins, and one of the scenes shows one of the starters use Bite with Pokemon getting bitten on the face, screaming like bloody murder. I remember that. That was memed so much.
I remember people being like, oh, why can't the anime be as brutal as Pokemon Origins?
I just remember the meme.
I especially remember, I think the immediate, no, was it immediate? No, that was 3 years later. It's so funny because a lot of the visual, well, first off, the funny thing about them specifically pointing at that is it's an exception in terms of how the battles are portrayed in Origins. That's not their usual level of brutality.
Yeah, right.
There's someone I did in the I Choose You movie. There's a scene where an Arbok wraps itself around Charizard's neck.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, so I posted. I made a meme where it was people, why can't Origins be as brutal as the Pokemon anime, as the main Pokemon anime? Me, the main Pokemon anime, post a picture of that.
Yeah.
And someone's retort was, well, to be fair, this was a one-time thing, and my retort was, to be fair, the Squirtle and Charmander thing was a one-time thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to mention, right before the Squirrel Charmander thing happened, Red and Blue literally went from 2 inches next to each other to zooming out backwards to have enough room for the battle, like Looney Tunes characters.
That was the best part.
That was the best part. Why do people want Pokemon to be realistic and stuff when stuff like that is literally the best thing?
Because people are wrong.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a lot of bitter malice towards Pokemon fans.
Artemue first off shows up saying, "What's up?" We're talking about Pokemon anime and people being weird about it. Second, they're like, don't forget the most violent anime scene: Ash football tackling Faba. Some people will like criticize modern Ash for not being as like aggressive and violent because he's a lot more of a sunshine boy. But it's like when you piss him off, he'll still tackle a man.
That's just called being more mature.
He really see that's the funny thing. Like he really is more mature than he was in the olden days, but people so often say he's less mature because he's
what?
more bubbly and positive all the time.
He's less violent, therefore he's less mature. Okay.
Well, like even like ignoring that like specific one, like like he acts more like bubbly and energetic and positive and calm, as Artemis is a lot more calm and happy than in the earlier days, and people will be like, because of that he is more childish. And it's like, that's not more childish, my friend.
Okay. Sure.
I'm not wrong, right? That's not more childish. That's more mature.
Yeah. Like I don't know if the portrayal is just coming across very like to read that way, but it just hearing the words, it sounds like a character that isn't as like crazy and tackles people to the ground without reason should be considered more mature. When you like calm down, when you tone down, typically that's how it goes.
He's not
right?
as dark and edgy and gritty.
He was never dark and edgy.
Oh, he sure wasn't, but that's what Pokemon fans want. And he's different.
Like,
something people, when people don't like something and don't want to admit it's subjective and not objective, they'll make up random crap. Just
that's fair. It's annoying, but I can't say I haven't done that.
okay.
What?
I just saved that over the ask base instead of making a new save file.
Oof.
I blame Zero.
Wahaha.
It's not actually in the Pikapi yet.
Pikapi? Happy says, "Oh, Zero's here. It's a me. A Zero."
It's me, Zero. I'm so happy to see you again.
Gosh. Hey, Lyra, you know how you have like the flash and the nutmeg?
Yeah.
Over there on your stream?
Yeah.
What if you had like little faces, like how you did the PA short ask faces, but for like you and then like your guest host?
True.
So it could be like you and then Pepper face, Tails face, Zero face, as if they're like ask vlogs.
Alright guys, submit your ask to Zero now.
No! Wait. It's very freeing to admit you just don't like something and not have to explain yourself. I say it's bad because I don't like it all the time, and let me tell you, it's great. Put the Zero face over Flash. I didn't mean like necessarily on top of like the characters that are there, but like that's a space that could be used for that, I think. Also, you know, if someone like told me that they didn't like something, if I wasn't like, if I was being mature about it, I could accept that. You know, just like, okay. But if they like then explain why they don't like it, like if I say, okay, that's fine, you don't like it, and then they continue to have a conversation, you're inviting me to argue your opinion. I'm sorry, but that's just the case. Like, some people will like,
Imagine people with negative anime opinions coming into the comment section of somebody of one of the 3 anime comics somebody has, and expecting them to just agree with them on these negative Pokemon anime opinions, and getting mad when they disagree with them.
that's ridiculous. It's like there are some people who are so focused on their perceived right to have their opinions acknowledged that they like pick the weirdest places to express those. They're like, oh, this person clearly loves this thing. That's where I should share my opinion. And then they'll be like, I just want people to acknowledge my opinion. And it's like, are you going to acknowledge the opposite? Like, is the other person then saying their opinion, which is different from yours, them not acknowledging your opinion? Because that ain't how it works, bruh.
Also, it wasn't just opinions; it was also just straight up wrong stuff. The most recent instance of it was something discrediting Ash's feats by using only old stuff from before Generation 6.
Okay. Discrediting for what reason?
Like saying on the Ash and Raichu blog early on in its life, a lot of people kept like bringing up the anime verse. And like, you know, anime Ash has just done way more than movie AU Ash, because like 2 movies, now 3 compared to like 1,100 episodes. And someone was like, well, don't worry, it's just like people will give Ash too much credit anyways. Like, he always falls for Team Rocket's disguises. Pikachu lost to a Snivy that one time, etc., etc.
Okay.
There was more stuff, but like most of it's in line with the Ash's Pikachu lost to a Snivy that one time stuff. I think there was something like it took him like 6 tries to beat the Pokemon League or something like that too, or 7.
Okay.
And it's just like all old news. Like,
yeah.
Like even if it held water, like a lot of it, like the lost to Snivy both has a reason, albeit a bad one from a writing standpoint, and also Pikachu has already come back and beaten that Snivy as a superior in the same generation, so it's like that story beat's no longer valid anymore.
that people are just jumping on a bandwagon and not understanding the character more. So the fan interpretation of Ash and using Game Red as an example, which is really stupid. Use Manga Adventure Red if you're going to use a red. That's a highlighted message from Corvid. Oh goodness, I still have PMD EOS on the brain. I'm tempted to draw outfits for the team members of Team Trident Sun and want to bandit the Cacturn in a poncho with a lot patterns on it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Tail says, people give Ash too much credit? Where? Where are the people giving Ash too much credit? I want to hang with them. Point me to them.
Mood. I'm also seeing the articles that are like, yo, Ash may be the champion, but Red would still totally win because, he's one of the strongest trainers in the world. But, you know, ignoring the fact that Ash is canonically one of the 8 strongest trainers in the world.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's why that looks weird. I forgot the necklace.
Naked.
Ignoring.
Yours says, OMG, it's objection time.
Oh yeah, it's the main objection theme for the Ace of the Attorney.
Cool.
I added so much fluff that's now gonna get covered up because I'm wearing a necklace.
Oh, it's such good fluff, too.
Oh no, not that. I'm just gonna erase.
Red says, Red isn't the strongest trainer in the world. You, the player, are the strongest. Red is meant to be a stand-in for yourself in game, right?
Yeah, and every time the stand-in for the current game faces Red as a stand-in for the player in the old games, he always loses. I think Red has canonically lost 3 times to current protagonists.
Uh-huh. Unless you're just really bad at playing the game.
I was gonna be like, well, to be fair, he's always a post-game super boss. No, yeah, you're right. He's like, because of the as much as I hate to say it, improper Pikachu use when Pikachu already isn't that great. Pikachu use period, and on top of that, improper Pikachu use. Yeah, he's really not a hard fight, especially since he starts with this. So you basically get a free win.
Oh.
But also, there is admittedly evidence in the games that Red is one of the strongest trainers in the world in the games, even though he's definitely not the strongest.
Mm-hmm. Just from like the clout that people talk about him with?
Huh?
Is it like because of the clout that people talk about him with?
No, nobody says enough for you to know any more than he is was a champion at one point in time in his life.
Oh, okay.
Tails comes in with the truth of this is ridiculous. Green girl trainer is definitely the strongest trainer in the world. Just look at how cute her design is. Top tier trainer. Which I can confirm is true.
I like how Corbett said I thought her name was Leaf, but then also like spelled it wrong. fake fan shake my head.
Ah, my good friend. She is only Leaf in... Technically, I think only in Pokemon Masters. I don't think she has a canon name in Fire Leaf Green. I think there was a fan thing to call her Leaf until Masters made it canon. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong. I've been wrong before on these kinds of things. However, even if she is Leaf in Fire Leaf Green, it's an exclusive trait to Fire Leaf Green. She is green both in the original even though she's not in the games, she's in like concept art for Generation 1, and she is green there, as well as in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Although technically she's blue in the original concepts, just we flipped her in.
Alright.
Green. Which is funny because green is Pokemon Trainer Blue, Gary Edition, is often wearing green because of his name.
Yeah.
So it just has this funny thing of the blue guys wearing... The guy named Blue is always wearing green. Oh.
Oh. I like Gary. He's a cool guy. He's got a good design. He's fun.
In Gen 7, the battle tree is run both by Red and Blue, which are considered battle legends in the games, and knowing that I had to go against Red in Super Single Battle in one go, I can say that the dude is hard to battle against. The thing is, like, you really can't use how hard they are to fight in game, because like you could go off of like Gold, Silver, Crystal, Red, who's like a pitifully easy fight, and say that Red sucks as a trainer. Like, you cannot go off of in-game difficulty. It's inconsistent and not necessarily what they want you to go for lore-wise. I got distracted. The in-game reason, the game version of the lore reason why in-game Red is one of the strongest trainers is something that nobody will ever bring up. Because they all forgot about it, is the Pokemon World Tournament in Black and White 2.
Which I never played.
Red is in the like Masters or Champion. I think it's the Champion. I think it's the Pokemon World Tournament basically was used in Journeys. Like, they took the like ranked online. They took the like rank theming of the online mode in Sword and Shield and like slid it onto the Pokemon World Tournament. So it's basically the same thing, just with a different name and different names for the ranks. And Red is in the highest one, which has like 7 or 8 or so other people in it. I don't know exactly, but I think it's 8. I think it's 7 other people in you. So he's like that is what confirms as one of the 8 strongest trainers in the world as of Generation 5. Yeah, all the current champions were in there at the time. It was, I believe it had both Red and Blue. Wallace and Steven, Cynthia, Iris, and Alder, and then you.
And me!
And you!
And me!
But it should be noted that this was as of January. First off, he's not necessarily the strongest. I think it's very possible for him to not reach the end of that tournament, and you fight somebody else as the final. So he's distinctly not the strongest one there. And also it comes before stuff like Leon. Who's probably stronger than him.
I believe that.
Also, Tails notes that she first encountered Green in the Pokemon Special manga, where she's blue. It's because of the fan translation. And that has messed her up for all of eternity.
That's so funny, yeah.
Step up your game. I was also. I read the manga. Manga. I read
mango.
I read the mango. Someone commented that they had canon that Nucleon had no mouth.
Oh.
And I'm like, evolution sprites often don't show the mouth. What do you mean you had canon it with no mouth?
They had canon it has no mouth.
Such an odd thing to do. Ooh,
Is it like it doesn't show a mouth in any of its animations either?
Yeah, but it's like a Generation 5-esque thing, so it's not like a 3D model that can show it easily. It can very easily or I guess to change that, it can very easily like just not show a mouth even though it has one. How's that radiation treating you? It's fine, don't worry about it. Nothing bad could happen from this, ever. I still find it funny how many people thought this was going to affect Shining Pearl. I should make her visible for this. No. There's no doubt. Those tend to be not as in your face.
Andrew says I might head off now because Twitch drains my battery because right now I have my phone on the charger and Twitch drains the battery so much that my phone isn't charging. So see you later, everyone. It was a fun stream. Thanks for coming, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Corbett says I want to confess I stole the name Charla from the anime and nicknamed my favorite Charizard that name. And I miss her so much because the game she was in was shut down.
Biggest oof. I always found good old Charla though.
I like Charla.
I still find it funny how much of a reputation Ash has for releasing all of his good Pokemon. he actually he released a he released does it even count? I honestly okay. I think Alola is the first time he permanently releases a Pokemon since Lapras. Every other
Butterfree comes back?
Lapras was released after Butterfree.
Oh, since Lapras.
Since Lapras, not except for Lapras.
Aww. No Squirtle. Does Squirtle come back?
I think. Do you have any recollection of what order Ash releases his Pokemon in?
No.
Lapras was released in Season 2.
Season 2.
The Orange Islands. So before Johto, after Kanto.
Okay.
So anybody who went away in Johto, which includes all of the Kanto starters, does come back later.
Okay.
In fact, I think all of them come back later in Johto, as well as later on in the series.
Yay! I thought the Pidgeot release was very emotional.
Hey. That's the one. That's probably the biggest one people get on him about.
I thought it was a very cool story moment.
Same.
I know like Pidgeotto didn't get much like character development, but I don't know why or what about it, but I always felt like there was some character there. A lot of it probably projected, but like there was something about that bird.
Tails notes that Tails says the thing that upsets me most about Ash releases all his good Pokemon is that they all wanted to leave. What was he supposed to do? Force them to stay?
Okay, well that excuse is like, of course they would write it so that they wanted to leave. I think the people who complain about it are more
Nope. They all criticize Ash as a person, not the writing of the show. They all say Ash is a bad trainer for this, not the writing of the anime is bad because of this.
Really?
I'm gonna shut you down right there because I have been pissed off about this fact for like 20 years. People always say, oh my gosh, Ash is such a terrible trainer because he's not a wretched, awful, terrible person like we are, forcing Pokemon to do what they don't want to do and stay with me.
Gosh.
Not a single person ever in the history of criticizing the Pokemon anime has ever said, so many of Ash's good Pokemon are released. This is bad writing. It is always, Ash is such a bad trainer. Every time one of his Pokemon gets strong, he releases them.
That literally makes no sense.
It sure doesn't. Now you know why I suffer sitting in this fandom forever.
Yeah.
That's a Pokeball.
a Mega Y Stone because during the time Mega Charizard X was super overused in the PvP, that when I brought her in and no one expected the Y form with Solar Beam and Shadow Claw. The thing that obsessed me. Let's see. You know what I want to see in the anime? Infernape and Charizard interacting. I had this weird hope where I wanted to see the two strongest fire starters who were abandoned just being friends.
Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that happens in Journeys. The bad news is it happens off screen.
Oh. Also, no one remembers Primate. R.I.P. Primate.
People sure are normal about criticisms in the anime. I'd never do something silly. Okay, one thing that bothered me about when random criticism that bothered me. So the anime refers to the bubbles around Froaky's neck as frubbles. You know, just like a silly, cute Pokemon sounding name, right?
Yeah.
Like, people criticize that as sounding too childish and kiddie.
Frubbles.
I'd like to note that it has the exact same naming theme that Froakie itself has. In fact, it's actually even less childish than the naming theme Froakie has, because Frubbles is Frog Bubbles, Froakie is Frog and Croaky, which is clearly a silly-guised version of Croak. So the name Froakie itself is literally more childish and silly than Frubbles, but Frubbles was too kiddie for them, and they immediately dropped X and Y anime the second they heard the word Frubbles being used.
Okay.
Anyways, people are normal with their criticisms for the Pokemon anime. You know, that's more a good amount of art progress done.
That's a lot of art progress done.
Yeah, this page is done besides the dialogue.
Nice.
As is this one, I believe.
Excellent.
And then a lot of the other ones, this one and not this one. This one have the line art done, and this only has one line left.
Hey, that's excellent. Look at you go.
I did it.
You did it.
So much art. There's Zero's face. Oh,
it's me.
It's you. Oh, I've ruined everything.
You what, everything?
Ruined everything.
Oh no.
So anyways, I don't think Pokemon fans realize they're playing a game for kids.
You know, it's a very possibility that none of them realized that they grew up.
No, see, that's the problem. They've grown up, but they're like, wait, why didn't the game grow up too? Why isn't it inappropriate for children nowadays?
I feel like they enjoyed a thing when they were kids, and then they didn't realize that when they grew up, the thing was no longer for them. Tails is losing her mind.
Oh, don't worry. I've been losing my mind for, when did Hoenn start? About 19 years. Because people have been like this about the Pokemon anime basically since Misty left. This has been their attitude for since we were like 12.
What?
But anyways, that's enough suffering. Next time, on the 19th, I'll be back for some more super duper fun Pokemon art streams.
Ooh.
Probably with Pepper. I assume her Disney World doesn't last a month.
Imagine.
But before that, on Thursday, I'll be playing through some more Banjo-Kazooie with Zero.
That sounds super wahey.
Well, hey! On Friday, we'll be continuing through some more, what's that game called? Digimon Cyber Sleuth with Tails.
Excellent. Hackers unite.
And on Saturday, we'll be continuing through Pokemon Legends Arceus, which will probably be the finale. I make no promises, but it seems very likely.
Yeah, I'd say where you are now, you're probably gonna... You'll have to try really hard not to finish the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the issues is like... by the way Tails was talking, it sounded like I was underleveled, so I was like, I can't go, like... I can't just, like, skip travel to all my locations, because I need to grind a little bit. But then I was going too slowly to get the places as fast as Tails thought I would. But now, on top of just like having far less of the post game to go through, I've actually had time to grind, because like I literally just couldn't last time because the stream ended. Like if I walked outside my door, cutscenes would start to hit. But now I can grind, and I actually have. So even if I forget for the rest of the week, I'll at least be a somewhat more reasonable level.
Yay. What level are you aiming for?
That's a good question. Tails, what level are we aiming for?
I had one single Pokemon that was a level 70 that I caught at level 70, and I didn't have trouble.
Oh.
I think the rest of them were like mid to high 60s.
Oh, then I may be set already.
Oh.
If that was good, then I should be set.
Depending on what kind of Pokemon you have, though, because I had 2 alphas and a couple of probably more bulky Pokemon than you do.
I also used the Grit Dust and all of that.
True.
Which I feel like you didn't use any of.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I had... Whoa! Tails is level 80?
Yeah, sounds like a... Tails, did you use the Grit, Dust, and Gravel and any of that? On your Pokemon?
At level 80, she wouldn't have needed to. I had a, what's that thing called? The Dragoon? The Goodra. I had a level 70 Goodra. That was my highest level Pokemon. My lowest level Pokemon was a level 62 Clefairy Clefable that I also just caught, but it was an alpha.
Oh, everyone was 10-10 for Tails. So hopefully, based off of yours, I should be fine.
Just bring some, like, full max revives, you know? That's what I use.
The true strategy, just all max revives all the time.
Yeah, and I only had to use one of them. I used a couple, but I only needed to use one. I just over max revived because I thought I needed to.
Fun times. But also, Tails posted a fun link to my super duper cool Patreon.
Whoa, you have a Patreon, Lyra?
I do, and we've just recently had all kinds of fun discounts
Yo, I love saving money.
So now, you can get super sick Pokemon comics that I make for me with early pages. How do you talk? How do you English, guys?
No habla español.
Mood. So anyways, you can get super duper cool early comic pages from me for a meager $5 a month, and early Let's Play episodes, works in progress updates, and a super fun art stream that I have once a month that'll actually be next Sunday for a mere $3 a month.
Yay. That sounds excellent, Lyra.
Yeah. But anyways, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all had a fantastic time. 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed.
You heard it here, folks. Lyra guarantees that you will not have a house fire if you subscribe.
Exactly. Well, there's like a 1% chance that you will. But that's just like 1%.
I like those odds.
Yeah, it's good odds rather than the 99% chance.
Oh my goodness.
It's fine, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it if you're subscribed.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the stream, Lyra. It's been great.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. And thanks everyone in chat for joining as well.
Yeah. It's been a fun time. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah. See you all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.